Welcome back, everyone, to this Monster Energy DreamHack studio broadcast of the Nordic Championship 2019 summer season. It's round 7. We just watched Ventus absolutely destroy Celestial Gaming with a Draven that got out of control, an AP Malphite, an Aurelion Sol. They're showman trouble, and I wonder what they'll bring for game number 2.
You knew that. You knew that, and you had predicted that. You were like, oh, they're doing some crazy stuff around. They're placing one here, one there.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. Tristana ADC, Tristana mid lane, Aurelion Sol ADC, Aurelion Sol mid lane. Thank God we didn't see the Aurelion Sol bot lane because, like, I wouldn't know how to explain that and how to analyze that. I'm gonna be honest with you. So I'm expecting no Aurelion Sols in the bot lane, but that was just a supreme showcasing of the whole entire Ventus lineup and how they act as a team. They picked to win their lanes individually. At the same time, it countered the entire comp of Celestial. And then not only they individually performed, but they just bond together so well as a team that kind of like every piece falls together. Like we see Godbro in the mid lane trying to dive Xantier. We're like, what is he doing? Diving Azir. And then you see Reese coming from tier 2 mid lane tower. It was crazy. Of course, let's be honest. We kind of predicted that Rhea was going to get out of control on that Draven. And it felt like there were like trust issues with Celestial Gaming, let's say, because it's like, okay, we need to put you on a safe support since you're not our main support. Something that will not die, something that will be slightly useful. What could that be? A Janna. This is like the typical, solo queue route that you go when you're autofield support and you're like, okay, oh my god, I don't know what to do right now. I don't know how to play support. Just eat everyone and you're Gucci. Well, that doesn't work against the Draven, against the Javan, against the Malphite ult. Like, it doesn't work. Plus, you have Kullberg, who was the only person who did decently because I felt like he just wasn't targeted enough because everybody was playing towards bot side. So Reese and Kullberg could just go at each other without any kills going back and forth pretty much. So he was the one that was able to pull a little bit, not ahead, but he was like pretty decently equal with Riz, if you exclude all the global goal that they got from towers and all that. So it felt like once Kullberg entered the fights, yes, there was a glimmer of hope, but then once Kullberg entered the fights, there was no one else alive for CG to clean up.
Yeah, it's true. And Kullberg, honestly, I feel like he was ahead for a large part of the game, obviously, but that's just the nature of the matchup, right? The Kennen versus Malphite, he just naturally punished Reese to quite a large extent here, and obviously this Malphite was behind for a large part of the game, but the global synergies, as you've pointed out, just came together for Ventus straight up beautifully. And yeah, it did look like Celestial didn't really have any answers coming into game number 1. There might be a little bit of nerves. There might be a little bit of a morale issue since you literally haven't won a game since round 1 in a series that you lost. So there are some issues coming in here, and I hope that they can bounce back for the sake of their team. Obviously, remember this is a lineup that have been together for a long time. 4 of the players here, or if you exclude Moriana stepping in at the support role, like 4 of the core Celestial Gaming members here have played literally for several tournaments now. So it's a little bit unfortunate to see them struggling in this way. We'll see if they can bounce back in game number 2. We will be heading into picks and bans. Now, looking at what Ventus pulled out here, do you even bother targeting anything, Trouble?
Oh, definitely not. I would go with the exact same bans. I found that, they're going to target the Draven here. Maybe because they want to go with another passive lane. But then again, if you eliminate, all these aggressive kind of ADCs, you can probably bounce back much easier than just a Draven that literally goes out of control if you feed him 2 or 3 kills or 5. In his case, last game. I enjoyed the bans that CG used. I found them very correct. And they targeted specific, not specifically members, but they countered some strategies that Ventus likes to run, for example, with the Cho'Gath in the top lane. But the Karma is open, and we have to talk here because Karma was one of the champions that received a nerf. So her shield is now, and her empowered shield have a lower shielding ability. So she has been nerfed in this matter, but Reese doesn't really care because she's playing the full glass cannon karma that he's about to lock in with Ludenseko and Morellonomicon. Good luck, have fun, everyone.
Yeah, it's this nerf targets specifically the support kind of utility style build that we often see from other top laners and from other supports. But these nerfs just straight up don't matter when it comes to these Strengen, because he'll build that
He doesn't care.
Echo. He just build that orb and poke you down and bring down the DPS. This guy is a carry on karma, and that's a blitzcrank. Okay. So remember, patch 9.14, right? There was the change that blitzcrank ultimate. The name of it escapes me, but it removes shields now before it amplifies damage and silences. So I like this as a response to the karma if you can position the blitzcrank correctly. And also, there's obviously the pick potential and all, but that's a new mechanic that we have to keep our eyes on.
It doesn't have to be. It's a little bit weird that they're gonna first pick the. Well, that's obviously a flex pick between Godbro and Rhea. But what I want to say here is that I would have liked if they put the Blitzcrank in the second rotation, because you know that this camera is going to be in the top lane. So, yes, sure, it's really cool. We saw it drawing a ban from versus G2. Fnatic had picked already Karma for Reckless, and on the second ban rotation, they ban the Blitzcrank so it doesn't affect the team. Now, but here, by locking in the Blitzcrank that early, you can pick very slippery ADCs, such as the Ezreal, such as the Severe. You can go with the Shields, with Morgana. So it's like so counterable again that I would have loved to see it in the second BAM's rotation, because now you've actually exposed your whole bot lane, so it could be exploited by VT. And even though you have a red side, which you should be using this wisely, because it is a counter pick side. I like the Aurelia flex because you can put her everywhere, but definitely not in the top lane versus Reese. So that again gives you an indicator. You already know, okay, Sunday's gonna play the Aurelia. You've already got the bot lane locked in, so there's not much flexibility, and you've given away a lane that can very easily be counted. And it would really be crazy to leave something open such as Severe or Ezreal, but then you're also scared of Marcoon's Jarvan. So you could definitely put that Tristan in the mid lane and have Ezreal Severe bot lane for Rhea, and then they're gonna have the time of their lives because they can pressure the Lucian and the Blitzcrank, who don't really have much wave clear, underneath the tower, which means that the Blitzcrank does not really ever become a threat because you've got double magic shield against his hooks.
Yeah, it's true. All of these points that you just brought out, and I also want to touch on the fact when you brought up these all these ADCs that work so well with that or against that Blitzcrank, the fact that they lock in the Tristana flex, I love that for another reason, obviously, because you can buffer the rocket jump with Blitzcrank's hook. If he hooks you and you start the animation within like the animation that it takes, or the time that it takes for him to grab you, then you can jump away despite being grabbed. So okay, wow, Nautilus locked in here. Are they gonna top lane or jungle Nautilus against Ventus here?
I'm thinking possibly top lane because you also have some wave clear, but then you've also got that shield that can prevent all the damage from Karma coming in. So it's kind of like a fun fest, but then Karma comes up on top from that. Oh my god. Stop the madness. Stop
Let's
it right
do
now.
it. Come on, give it to me. Just do it, all right? Ventus, oh my, would that be a lot of fun? But Volibear seems unlikely. It was played in the NA LCS, I believe.
The Glacial comp?
A little bit of a troll pick Glacial comp, yeah. So it's going to be that mid lane, or it could be top lane Akali also. I'm not going to like
I think it's going to be a mid lane Akali. I'll give it to God, bro. I'll give it to God, bro.
And that Xin Zhao now finishing off the comp. Now, what will Celestial Gaming do here? Because I really just don't know. They could potentially have a jungle, top, or mid lane champion still to pick. With the flexibility of Talia, that could be either mid or jungle also.
I think that is jungle. Nautilus should be top lane. Are they gonna pull like the crazy proto belt Nautilus shenanigans?
Oh my.
It looks
Yeah,
like
that
it.
exists a couple of patches ago, right?
Yeah.
Where you could go with mobility and like active items, Nautilus,
Proper
a little bit of
AP mid
AP.
lane Nautilus,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
But then
against the Kali, I guess it's fine, maybe.
it might be fine, but then you put Kolbeck in such a bad position because you know that Riesringen is going to pull the Ludens, Echo, Morello, Nomican, Karma in the top lane. He doesn't care about being a support. He cares about putting you far into your grave where top lane is concerned. And playing Karma against any AD, bruiser, or melee of any sort, top lane is literally like playing against your hardest counter. And this is what's happening here. Kulberg is going to go with that Aurelia. And if you remember correctly, the only ray of sunshine last game was Kulberg. Now he's hard counted. Your bot lane is hard counted because you're not going to be able to grip anyone. No, not again. This is a nightmare.
Sometimes, honestly, Trouble, there comes a day in a couple of times a year where, as caster analysts, just gotta throw their hands up in the air and say, you know what, we're just gonna have to
Let's
watch
just
it
watch,
play it
yeah.
out. Just say, I don't actually know what this whole thing or how it's gonna play out potentially. So a lot of fun in the mid lane with the.
Hey, I'm
Nautilus,
loving the skin at least.
Collie. Hey, what, the Blitz skin?
Exactly. It looks pretty cool in his jersey. The Riot jersey.
For sure, stylish. A little bit of a fashion statement coming in there as we are heading into the game between Celestial Gaming and Ventus. It's game number 2. And honestly, Celestial Gaming, they're looking to play upset here. They have no realistic way of reaching playoffs. They could go 3-6, but
ooh, I like that.
That's gonna give them like a 7th place or something at best. Meanwhile, Ventus,
Blitzy is in the field, baby.
He's in there. The goalkeeper.
Oh, do it.
Coming in.
Do it!
Okay. He doesn't have vision though.
No!
Oh man, the
He
blind
went
hook.
for the blind hook. He had so much time to play somewhere there. No!
I mean, they did have the wards on the others, on each side there, but didn't have vision of that particular area. So a little bit of a whiff coming in from Morian. But honestly, I like this. It's style points for across the board.
Yeah, another thing that's questionable here is that locking the Lucian so early. The team that you have, you definitely want to go towards the late game to fight them, even though they do have the strong late game team also. You want to match them. But I felt like a Caitlyn could have potentially had so much more synergy here because you have the front line, you have, you know, the hook, which you can threaten with, you've got the Talia with the knockups, you've got so many ways of zoning a team back from their tower and then being able to siege it with the Caitlyn, and of course, all the synergy with the hook, the knockup, the cupcake, it works same as the Morgana. So right here, again, they try to pull these solo queue sort of combinations with like the very aggressive bot lane with the Blitzcrank and the Lucian, but it's been 100% counted from the Morgana and the Tristana because Morgana has the black shield in case Tristana doesn't get the jump. Well, what am I talking about? Because Reese decided to play bot lane and then Godbro decided to play top lane and I'm done.
Yep, it's the analyst has exited the building, ladies and gentlemen. Troubling is out, as Kulberg is now under siege heavily in the top side. Yes, there is a triple lane swap going on. Godbro with the Akali has gone top lane against Kulberg. Riesting is playing bot lane with Phil's Morgana, and all of the jump aways by Raya that we looked towards down the bot side makes me think that I don't exactly like this lane swap. I would have adored if they instead perhaps sent Riesting in mid, Godbro top lane, sure, but kept Raya in the bot side. But they've chosen this triple lane swap, and I'm not sure if it's the optimal choice.
I don't think so.
Rather than just the most fun choice, I suppose.
I was about to say, I think they're trying stuff out. We talked about the fact that they're going to be experimenting with it. No. They can play with it. They're, you know, they're the ones that have something to lose, you know, so why not have fun and experiment with it? And I would really love to see CG do the same. Like, have fun with it. You're already out of the playoffs. You have nothing, absolutely nothing to lose, and you're playing against the top 1 team in the tournament as well. So just have fun with it and play freely. Now, of course, all these elements we talked about, the little bit of a solo queue draft, the not coherent enough draft, the macro missing, obviously it's gonna have to do something with the fact that in-game they're not performing that great. I was about to say, because I saw Ryu taking a tower shot in the mid lane. There is something with this guy playing Tristana. Something that wants to attract these tower shots.
He wants to get in there, get involved a little bit, and just take these trades and go really aggressively as often as he can. And Trouble, I was thinking about something while I was watching Raya absolutely pummel onto Zandia, and that's the amount of displacements that's on Celestial Gaming here.
Oh,
like, imagine,
boy. God, bro!
Yeah, meanwhile on the top side, God, bro, does go up against Coolberg, is not gonna take that shuriken straight back to Coolberg's face, but imagine a situation, right, where Murian lands a hook, there's Zandia's follow-up with the Nautilus anchor, and there's Dakarek with the third displacement. You could switch Raya, or you could push him very far distance. Meanwhile, Hook does land on the bot side. Morian does, however, get Dark Binded. Ambiva is trying to lay down the damage here, but there's a double support-ish kind of bot lane. There's no Tristana, so there's no real all-in. So Morian does survive. But good job by little Ambiva to try to lay down the damage regardless.
So it feels like, okay, CG are trying to confuse us by picking these lanes. Okay, maybe it's what they feel confident with. But then on the other hand, we have Ventus making it even harder for us, and they're like, we're gonna go for a triple swap. I felt like Godbro wanted some sort of, you know, a fight back. He's like, guys, I'm playing Akali. I'm really not gonna do much against the Nautilus mid lane. He has too many shields. He has too many, you know, damage he can put out on me. But I fancy a real nice challenge, you know, against the Aurelia in the top lane, where Coolberg was the only one who was doing great. So I'm gonna try to shut this down. So it feels like at this point, Ventus are playing with their food.
They are, and in all honesty, they can sort of, they can sort of afford to, right? Yeah, they're on that third place, and they do need these clean victories, but at the same time, you are, as you stated, they're playing against the bottom of the standings team who's running with their manager as their support. So there's some room for a little bit of fun here. Meanwhile, in the top side, yes.
Oh, he wants none of that.
Yeah, honestly, this just disengages all across the board. Meanwhile, however, Marcoon finds a Dakrek, and Dakrek has to flash over the wall. There's that perfect execution by Godbro. Does not have any more dashes onto his name, however, so flash forward by Coolberg is going to secure the trade kill, and with everything said and done, it's a 1-for-1. And meanwhile, in the mid lane, Raya almost got a kill, I want to add, onto Zandia, but nothing happened. So 1-for-1 early game. But it's not over yet, because watch the displacements that are about to come in, but Morian does not get the hook there. But
he does get the flash, though.
Yeah, he did get the flash, so clutch there. After all is said and done, there is a flash. Congratulations for Celestial Gaming.
So, the story goes as Godbro is in the top lane, playing, oh, wait a second.
Again. Yeah. I mean, look at the displacements. It's coming in. Look at this. CC. They did it. The double hooks are real. And here comes the Dakrek. Raya underneath the tower, turned where he belongs. And there it is. Dakrek with 1 kill. And I believe it was also Zandia who picked up the second one. There is the triple displacement duo, or trio, I should say, that I want to see in action.
Are you even surprised that Rhea right there died from a tower shot?
I mean, even if that was the last one to die, though.
I mean, even if that was what he was intending to do, are you surprised that he died from a tower shot?
Not really. That's where he belongs, for sure.
So they pull the triple swap. Okay, fine. You're not respecting, you want a challenge. You don't want the easy lanes, you want the hard lanes. Fine. But don't disrespect your opponent, especially when they have so much CC this time. Last time they were lacking it greatly, but this time it's working so well, and they managed to grab 3 kills for themselves. And remember, last time they even put themselves 1,000 gold into the lead, and they couldn't pull it off. But right now, they have the tools, and the hooks, and the grips, and the stuns, and the knockups. They have everything they need in their tool, and the damage, of course, to actually perform it. So there might be a chance for Celestial Gaming here.
There might be. They're gonna have to be creative with it for sure, though. They're gonna have to sort of craft their own opening and knock a hole in the wall to find that window. However, they are being proactive, so I do like that. And I want to watch this triple displacement trio in action some more. I would love to see some more mid lane focus just for the sake of it, but I mean, also Ventus, as you said, they can't really keep on disrespecting as they have done, they're gonna need to start utilizing Riot's Tristana a little bit more and abuse this mid lane, which they just have not been doing. Meanwhile, on the top side, there is some action going on. Coolberg finds himself in between Godbro as well as Marcoon, but Dakric is waiting as well. So it's tense trouble. There's just there's so many almosts across the board.
Oh boy, Marcoon is going in solo.
Almost, I say. Marcoon, he says, definitely goes in versus Dakric. And,
wait, I've seen this before.
Actually, it's Godbro. Yeah, Godbro gets perfect execution stun and will execute here as well. There it is. 2 kills picked up by Ventus, and they are turning on the tree. Meanwhile, on the mid side, wait, surely nothing's going to come out of this. There's just too much of a distance that just aren't.
So, basically, the only bad thing here is that Godbro's on an assassin stuck on a side lane. Great, you're trying to choke the Lucian in the bot lane. He's never gonna get aggressive. He's never gonna be able to kill anything because you can't creep anyone. You can't isolate anyone with the hook from the Blitzcrank. And there's too many shields and sustain around on the Karma that you can't really actually kill anyone and get the Lucian rolling, which is the only champion in your lineup at the moment that needs to get rolling from early game. Coolberg though, and Godbro once again.
Yeah, we've seen this one before. Godbro usually wins this one handedly. Marcoon, especially with the assistance of Marcoon. There it is.
He's gonna give an assist.
Redbuff is still taking out Coolberg. The snipe is there. Nah, he's just gonna claim it for himself, saying, "Hey, you know what? I want a piece of the action here."
I mean, he went all the way up top. Come on, he at least deserves one.
There's a snack, a re-energizing little munch.
Oh, here we go again.
There. Meanwhile, bot side, Morian does land the hook, but there's the black shield, remember, and the dark binding as well. Fiddle actually has the stopwatch to avoid the displacement coming in from Dakric. Dakric still calling, by the way. Ooh, beautiful! Beautifully snapped in between minions by Dakric and Lil Ambivert. And remember, Trouble, we didn't speak about this, but this is the buffed Lucian. He's getting, he's gotten... Well, it's not online quite yet, but he's got a 5 damage increase at rank 2, a 10 damage increase at rank 3. So later on, Lil Ambivert, it's going to be a problem.
I think it's mostly for wave clear issues because Lucian had like absolutely no way of clearing the wave, like one culling, and it just wasn't going to be enough to clear the wave, and there were issues there. So they're adding these for later in the game. You know, you could be behind, there could be a Baron, but right now there's a Shelly popped in the top lane. It's gonna take the tower pre-minute 14, which means even more money in the pockets of Godbro, and potentially, wait, this is gonna take more than the tower. It's gonna take a lot of plates coming in for the tier 2 in the top lane as well, again going into the pockets of Godbro. So this lane swap has affected him in the best way possible up the top lane, because we know that Marcoon likes to play again around Godbro, and this time it's worked great because you're putting Coolberg far behind while you're getting your assassin and your jungler snowballed, and the other lanes are doing fine. You know, your Karma doesn't really need to pop off to win the game. All you need to do is just build your Luden's Echo, build your Morel Nomicon. You're good, you're fine. You'll do damage in the mid game. Rie is doing absolutely fine versus the Nautilus. She's ahead in CS. So snowballing Godbro on the assassin is exactly what they need to do. Now, setting Coolberg behind is, you know, like a present. It's an icing on the cake. We'll take that.
And you did amplify the talking point, obviously, that Coolberg was the one who did the best, or held his own the most, I should say. But obviously he wasn't focused that much in the previous game. Now finds himself defending against a Rift Herald, and I was just about to make a case for why Godbro and Marcoon could potentially continue this top lane push, because they've got vision of everyone. Yeah, obviously Lil Ambivert and Morian, they just backed, but they were seen bot lane. Dakar is going to get spotted by this control ward as he approaches mid on the other side of the map. So Godbro, he's going for it. Yeah, there's Morian though. Meanwhile, Dakar is in the mid lane trying to get the assassination onto Raya. But Fiddle is here, throws out the dark binding, but I mean, doesn't get anything more off of that, but at least he peels from his ADC slash mid laner for now.
So we asked the question, is this going to be a faster game or a slower game? Well, I think this replies to your question. This is going to be a definitely slower game, but
it's true, but it's still pretty fast. I mean, it's not tilted in one team's favor. It seems a little bit more of a messy kind of situation here. Godbro, yeah, it was the second part of his ultimate coming in there. Just wanted a little bit of extra damage coming in.
I mean,
he
it's
used
really
the first charge to
dangerous.
stun up Sandia.
Dive in silence.
That's true.
Blitzcrank when he still has it up, and Dakrek was like right around the corner. There's 350 gold on Godbro's head, so if they want to kill someone, Godbro is that target. You want to be able to cash in and get someone rolling the Kotreye, but it's exactly what we talked about. You can just jump away.
He's perfectly fine, but instead, someone who's really in trouble is going to be Marcoon. Has to flash over the wall, just casually, to not get caught out by the double hook from Celestial Gaming, and that gives Celestial Gaming temporary control of the dragon, but they seem to be one of dispersing, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really think they can fight Ventus in a straight up 5v5 over a neutral objective, and not with these team compositions. I'm not even sure how they're gonna have to play in the later stages of the game. Trouble. That's a close hook.
Hey, that was close. Okay, so the thing here is you definitely don't want to fight the 5v5 fight, because your Tristana has way too many shields you have to go through to kill her, and same goes for the Akali. But what you can actually do is try to get a pick before a big fight, but Zandia is in a lot of trouble.
It's the wrong team getting the pick. Zandia, with that ultimate, comes in this depth charge and the flip. Dakrek slays Rhea where he stands. Now it's Godbro who finds himself in the assaulting position, but that's crucially a response kill here. It's a 1-for-1, and it's the jungle for the ADC. Yeah, surely this favors Ventus as they start looking towards the dragon. They're already starting it with Reese and Marcoon. Only Ambivert there, but surely this is a dragon pickup.
And that was a great turnaround, because Zandia was going to die there. So instead of just losing him, you reply with Rhea if you're Celestial Gaming, but then you lose your smite. Dakrek goes down, and then you don't have any pressure over the dragon. And this is exactly what we talked about before this fight started. How do you actually pressure the map? How do you fight Ventus so you can grab some advantages for yourself? And the answer is you don't really fight them 5-on-5, because too much utility, too many shields, too many speeds, you know, too many dodges from the spell seeds and everything. So you definitely just want to get a pick. You have the Blitzcrank, you have the Nautilus, isolate someone and catch them off guard. And then you have more than enough tools to try and beat them down. And that was a beautiful hook by Zandia right there.
It was, but at the same time in the bot side, Morian goes for the flash hook onto Restring, I believe, and forces his flash. So they're hooks across the board, Trouble. We can't keep track of all of them.
I love this. I love that CG are being proactive in this game, because in the previous game, they chose to be reactive to whatever Ventus were throwing at them, and it didn't work. You know, they tried to react by picking the Janna, by staying safe. That doesn't work. You can't stay safe versus Ventus. You need to attack them, and I love the double hook composition, because they're showing that they are a threat, that if you try to tower dive them, they can pin you in place and turn the whole fight around.
And they can, 100%. We've seen it several times over and over again. Restring, and meanwhile on the bot side, Ambivert fancies the challenge, and there it is. He slays Ventus's top slash bot laner. And
shit, stopwatch. Oh my god. Great job from Ambivert. You know, we talked about how this Lucian cannot get really Oh boy, Coolberg. We talked about how this Lucian cannot get snowballed because there were too many shields, too many binds, too much utility, too many stuns, too many roots. Well, now it was just Reese down there all alone. So Ambivert can very easily 1v1 him, and he managed to save his flash as well. Now you see that putting Godbro versus that Nautilus is much harder than when he played against Coolberg, because it's Nautilus has a little bit more of a lockdown, and the Akali cannot do whatever she wants in the mid lane. But this is a full one Akali. She left, she got fed, well, she's back, and now you have Tabbies.
Tabbies are online. It gives you that extra little bit of defense there. And there's the mid turret going down. Crucially, by the way, Godbro, once the assassination onto Zanya, he surely can just, you know, slap him around a little bit. He's stuck between an Akali and a hard place. Finally dies. There's not much he has to say about it. Yeah, the Tabbies are there, but I mean, no, it's not enough. Not enough just yet.
Oh, and it's so crazy, because whatever they're trying to do, Ventus seems to be one step ahead. You're building Tabbies to try and deal with Godbro. I'm sorry, with Rhea. Well, guess what? Godbro comes back in lane. Now you've got the non-magic... No, sorry, that's a Negatron cloak. Well, guess what? Now you're going to be playing against somebody who's AD. possibly. So it's just Zandia can just not cut a break. Whatever he itemizes against, he gets a different person against him. I think he was trying to go into through the wall there, and then he decided otherwise. See way too many people of Ventus around. He's like, I could go for the Hex plus Hook, but there's just too many of them around, and this could potentially be a dive because there's 4 members of Ventus down bot lane, and the only person who's doing something for this team right now and getting something rolling is Ambivert get solo kill on his own. So you definitely want to be keeping this Lucian safe and trying to force as many fights as possible now that the Lucian is still relevant.
It's gonna fall off a little bit if Ventus keep the snowballing going on here. Obviously, about 4,000 gold ahead by now. Yeah, Ambivert is stuck there, but the turret dive that you seem to be looking at, or that you identified earlier, seems to be coming in. But there is that Talia ultimate, and it's instead Morion who gets trapped between everyone, straight up. Godbro on the meanwhile, it zones off the rest of Celestial Gaming, and that's the turret going down. There's a kill, and what looked good for Celestial Gaming at one point in this game, it's all falling apart in the mid-game. Ventus, they're looking at the clean sweep.
Ooh, they do. They get the tower, they get the kill. They're gonna most likely get the Drake in 25 seconds. Zandia's trying to get a push in here, and Darkirk is gonna back him off. But this is a Nautilus. You can't really hard push with the Nautilus, and this is the sad truth. Now, they've all swapped back to their original lanes. You know, Fiddle is playing with 3, as one, as a support and ADC kind of interaction. And then you've got Goldbrook continuing to play against Goldberg because this is where he has the advantage right now. And then on the other side, you've got Reese going to whatever lane there is left because he actually does not really to do anything. You know, he's just clearing wave after wave after wave. This could potentially be a death cap second item because he definitely does not care to go for a Moral Nomicon this time. He's super fed. It's going peachy for Ventus. I will still say that there is the potential to turn around for CG if they get a very clutch hook underneath the tower. It could potentially work, but now they're finding themselves 5,000 gold in deficit, and maybe the ship has already sailed again.
Perhaps, but luckily for Celestial Gaming, Troublelink, they have an anchor in the mid lane, so they could just anchor the ship right down by the harbor and prevent it from sailing too far away. Dude, I'm so creative.
It could potentially make it sink as well. Just saying.
It's true. With what exactly? With
the anchor, if it's too
anchor?
heavy.
I mean,
well, it's bigger than the Nautilus. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, and Nautilus is a pretty big dude. However, Nautilus, speaking of him, gets dark binded, and there's the GLP coming in. Morion is looking for something, but he just wants to say hello. Just pops his head in there saying, hey, I exist. Boss Ventus disengaged. However, Restrain doesn't, you know, he doesn't claim enough distance, and there is that death charge that assassinates him in the Baron pit, and that's great for Zandia there. Buys him a little bit more time. Spent so much time talking about Restrain, and I was going full AP. It makes him so squishy, he gets caught out, but bot side, Raya and his towers, he continues on, but surely he can't push further against.
And this is unfortunate because you've already killed one member that provides a lot of shielding and a lot of stuff, so that's great. And then Rhea is all the way down bot lane, so you want to try and force some teleports, but you can't because you have no damage to start the Baron. Blitzcrank does no damage, Nautilus does no damage, so you just have Talia and Lucian. Oh boy.
Yeah, Marcoon is going in versus 2v4 essentially. There's the triple flag coming in. Watch Godbro as well as Ambivert coming in on the wayside. It's everywhere. Raya, the assassin Tristana, comes in for the cleanup. Does not get an assist onto Zandia, I believe. Or actually gets a kill onto it.
With the blade.
What a guy. 2 for 0 in quick succession here for Ventus. And they will say, we don't even care about your picks.
Marcoon, go to Baron! What are you doing?
Looking for more. Watch Morion on the wayside. We have to keep an eye on his hook, but there it is. Raya just put a short little jump in place. I'm sure Ventus can start looking at the Baron exactly. But they do want the more kills.
Oh boy, it's not gonna
this is the perfect game to farm the kills though. Pad the KDAs a little bit.
No, that is the perfect game to show how clean you can be as a team.
I did
There
that
is
last
no
game.
smite on Darkrek, and instead Markoon goes in and uses his smite to try and assassinate yet another member. You can't do that. You've got everything you need. You've got the shields, you've got your Tristana right there. Godbro can actually, you know, stop everyone from coming into the pit and kind of flank around if he needs to. Markoon had the smite, you've got the damage, you've got the shields, you've got everything you need to take the Baron down, plus Darkrek was dead. So nobody can actually steal it from you. There's no spellbook from somebody cheekily change into a smite to try to steal that. So all was perfect, but the solo queue element is coming back in for Ventus, and they just want more kills. So this game has actually been extended a little bit.
So do you think Spellbook would have been a better choice there for Morian?
Oh.
Actually, hold that thought. Darkrick comes in at 400 miles per hour, just snipes off Fiddle, and that's now currently 5 members on the map for Celestial Gaming, 4 for Ventus. What are they going to do with this advantage? Zandia is coming for the mid, and Raya is being left alone in the bot side. Meanwhile, Morian snipes off the kill. He steals with his hook, saying, hey, you know what? I can land my CC. I'll even kill off the dude with it. But they are leaving Raya in the bot side. He has no sights on recalling. Is this going to be a miniature base race going on? Because he's ramping up quite a big wave here.
You don't really have to back. They don't have enough damage to pressure any more than they already do. So they're just going to get a tower, and you can't really prevent it because 2 members are down for your team. So no matter what you do, they're going to take it anyway. Now, you can actually zone here. Oh, Ambivert is in trouble.
Raya doing Raya things, and he pulls it off this time. Meanwhile, there's a hook, however, the slap by the anchor straight to the face. Raya pays for his greed this time. Now, Markoon is the next on the list. However, here comes Godbro. Perfect execution stuns too. Fiddle is in the middle of Kuhlberg and Zanya and dies for the second casualty for this team. And there comes Godbro, picks up the kill onto Kuhlberg, and that is an ace at 24 minutes. There's a Xinjiao, there's an Akali, and there's a Karma. Can they do the Baron with this amount of burst with Darkrick on the way?
Rie only needs 10 seconds. He's most likely going to be able to TP straight in and put some more damage down. Darkrick, though, he has the speed. He could potentially get there real quickly and try to go for a cheeky steal. Rie easy pin right now into the pit.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to do it. Raya comes in there, gets the extra DPS, and there is a Baron and Nasher coming in for Ventus at the 25th minute.
Enough trolling, let's say, from Ventus. It's like okay, they got their kills, they're boosting their KDAs. It's time to play serious right now. Rie on his assassin Tristana, going into 3 members, claiming 2 kills, and then the rest of the fight sails super smoothly for Ventus, managing to grab the ace. No interaction right there with the smite of Markoon. They can just go straight to Baron, take that, and now all the lanes are their playground.
They can have a field day with this game. Obviously, there's so much room for them to have the fun that they could potentially like here. And there's so many snowballed members. There's that death cap coming in for Reese. Yeah, he's 0-3-0, but who even cares? He'll be laying down the poke and the burst regardless. Kuhlberg, meanwhile, top lane against Godbro. Godbro's looking for the 1v1, but actually Ambivert on the wayside steals off the dragon. But I mean, just watch this.
How many times have we seen
fight
this?
Coming in here? Yeah, it's just so one-sided at this point. Sure, Ambivert steals the dragon with what I assume was the culling, but there's still a kill that picks off the Celestial Gaming's split pusher, and they're honestly they're gonna lose out on answers here. Surely they won't know what to do in this situation because I say this, but at the same time they just engage the fight 4 versus 5.
Oh my God!
TP's in, picks up the kill. Now legendary at 9-1 and 3. He wants more. Stopwatch underneath the turret is gonna reset a little bit, but he gets hooked. Black Shield is late. All the snipe there by Ristringen hits perfectly as the flash comes in by Morian. But honestly, what's Raya doing all of this? He's been sieging down bot lane. Inhibitor's down. Black Shield lands. There it is. Ambivert is dead, and the damage is gone for Celestial Gaming. Cleanup is the name of the game. Hooks land left, right, and center. Who even
Dies to the tower.
There is Kuberg that will go down. It's gonna be the delayed ace, surely, whenever Zandia decides to say, hey, I've had enough. He's gonna force the tower dive, but there it is. There's an ace coming in. Ventus, they're looking for the game. However, Dakric is coming in. He does not have that ultimate, but he has the flash. Flashes straight into 2. Kills off 1. But I mean, it's a 1-for-1 trade. But surely, this will be the game.
Can I say it?
Game will fall 0-2. Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Trouble.
Rhea died to the tower again. That's what I wanted to say.
Okay.
There is something about this guy playing Tristana. He just loves diving. There's no other explanation. Again, he did the exact same thing. Of course, huge props to Ventus. They ended this game again, 27 minutes in. Not as clean as the previous span, but I need to give props to CG because that looked like a much more alive CG. They were the ones making the proactive plays instead of being reactive to whatever a team of Ventus's caliber has to throw at them. You need to be proactive versus these teams that have been together for so long, that have been dominating for so long, and they know exactly what their playstyle is with a lot of star players put into the mix. So I will give props to Celestial Gaming. I think this is the game that we've seen them most alive in. We've seen them have at least, some impact, even if they were playing against Ventus, which it kind of like seemed at this point impossible for them to win against. But yet again, a quick 2-0, a clean 2-0 from Ventus. We expected nothing else. And a good thing for CG to show us some signs of life.
Yeah, they fought back in game number 2. Actually took control for quite some time, and Ambivert was looking good. There was some proactiveness there with the hooks. And I love the triple displacement Trouble. It was such a fun draft, this game. However, it wasn't enough on the day, and they do continue their 100% lose or loss record, unfortunately for them. And Ventus secure a crucial 2-0 as they are fighting for those semi-final buys, which they are currently not sitting on. Obviously, Falcon and the Final Tribe need to somehow mess up against their opposition for that to happen.
I mean, it's possible. Finnish teams.
It is. Finnish teams, and we talked a little bit about this before also. Today is the day. I believe it's MJ versus Falcon and Neon versus the Final Tribe, I believe. And after that, the strength of schedule becomes a little bit, quote, easier, unquote, for the Swedish teams as well as Ventus. So it's today, it's now or never if you want to try to punish these top teams and strip them off of a semifinal bye. But Trouble, we still have one match on the day to cast, and it is going to be MJ versus Falcon, and we'll be bringing you that one after just a few commercials. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a bit.